I'll be surviving 100 days among these guys. Oh god. Quick note before we get into this script and the gameplay footage was all done a year ago. I forgot to put the voiceover into the correct folder and accidentally deleted it when I was almost done editing it all. I spawned in the dark oak biome, and I found a shipwreck with this thing called a recall potion. A recall potion allows you to go back to your previous spawn point just by drinking it, which is very useful, just not right now. In RLCraft, you can't just punch a tree, you won't get anything. Instead, you need to craft flint tools first, which are slow as fuck. They use that to create wooden tools and use that to create stone tools. I chopped my first tree, and using that wood, I made some earplugs. You see, these things are sirens, and they are deadly, okay? If you are not wearing earplugs, they will just grab you with their beautiful voice. I then also saw a sea serpent, which is probably one of the coolest things about this mod. Sea serpents and dragons both create some of the strongest armor in the game. They're gonna be very important later on. They're also really fucking powerful. They can all one-shot me, even in pretty decent armor. With all this danger around, how do you think I died? Yep, hypothermia. In RLCraft, you don't have a singular spawn point. It constantly changes, unless you finally get like a bed or something. So I was kinda stuck in the loop of going between places. My next place was a snow biome. Ironic knowing I died from hypothermia. The villagers were useless and I just killed myself. Did see a cool dragon though. Then I spawned underwater and got killed by sirens. I actually did almost kill one of them, which come on, give me credit. I respawned and I just made a hole in the mountain to stay the night. Alright, we've arrived at day 2. I knew it was morning when this ugly bastard started knocking at my door. So I killed him. Then I decided to walk through the desert, figure out where the hell I am. And then I found a dragon carcass. Later you can use these to create some awesome weapons. I also found a battle tower with another dead dragon. Then I found a savannah with a campsite and a broken down house. This is where I eventually decided to set up camp. Forever. I mined some stone and using it, I made a pickaxe, a rapier, and a battle axe. I thought I could use the battle axe as the normal axe, but I could not. So I threw it into the sun. I then went on the hunt for some chickens, because I wanted avian treats. Kinda weird how you make food for birds with bird meat in this game. I found this weird village looking thing, but there wasn't really any good loot. I just kept dying for a while, dying, coming back to grab my stuff, and because there was still danger, I'd die again, So, when I finally escaped this sort of circle of death, you could call it, I finally made the treats I was looking for. I saw these big birds in front of my home, and I thought, if the other birds want avian treat, then why wouldn't this one want avian treat too? So I fed the bird, and they ate it! Okay, my first bird was super greedy, so I gave him a lot, and then he just didn't want to love me. So I gave up on him, but the second bird loved the food. So now I have this super fast transportation method. Now in order to be able to teleport mounts to you and respawn them after their death, you're gonna need a soul stone. For this you need diamonds and some other crap. Now where would I get diamonds? Well, time to fight the battle tower. So battle towers are these giant towers filled with spawners and loot chests, and the further up you go, the better the loot. But once you're up, there's like this big guardian guy, and he's very mean to me always. Now, okay, for people who know RLCraft, they'll know that this is patched by now. But it sure as hell wasn't 1 year ago. You see, there is this cool little glitch that you can do. As long as you're not on the actual battle tower grounds, if you're not like on the top level, where the guardian has no clue that you're there, unless you were to deal damage to him via like a bow or something. Good thing is that in 1.12, fishing rods do not deal damage, they just pull. So all you have to do is fishing rod that guardian until there's no durability left, and then just step on the tower. And all that fishing rod energy will just build up and he'll be shot millions of miles away. It is funny as fuck to see, and it's all the loot for free. So, with this big confidence in mind, I towered up to the guard, and as I was about to launch him off, I realized I forgot to level up my gathering. You need level 4 in order to use a fishing rod. So, no biggie, I eventually launched them off, and I took the loot. And then I died. I spent the entirety of this time dying. Coming back, dying again. And repeating the process. It's reminding me of like day 4 all over again. It wasn't very fun, I guess, but I got my loot back, most of it, and I went back home. You know, the loot I got wasn't as much as I expected. I mean, it was, but I lost most of it. But it was fine, you know, it was worth it. I think it was worth a couple days. Until, I came home and, yeah, my bird wasn't there. I checked chat and it didn't die. So, I don't know where they went. They're just gone. Moving on. I went to the desert village again because, I was bored. But sadly, I was being chased by these weird fire demons and they beat me to a crispy little pulp. As per usual, I obtained my stuff again and I went home. I made an iron rapier, but the quality was worthless. You see, every single tool in this game gets a quality. There's good qualities, like legendary, that make them extra strong. But there's also a lot of bad qualities, and a lot of them that are kind of iffy, you know? Some add range, but reduce damage, or things like that, you know? Worthless is the worst one, I think. And it turns out that it wasn't an upgrade at all from my old rapier. The exact same amount of damage, exact same speed, everything was the same. I went into this temple and I got ambushed by these things called sylphs. I got some decent stuff, but eventually died. No worries though, I got it all back and moved on with my day. I fixed the house up to make it a little bit safer, and I got myself a pretty damn good house. I crafted myself some iron armor, and I realized that you needed wither bones for dragon bone weapons. That already sounded kind of weird, but you need one for the handle apparently. It's only 50 days later that I realized that I only counted for the single weapon I checked it on. I decided not to check it on any of the weapons I actually wanted to craft. Anyways, now that I'm kinda geared up, I decided to go down to the waters with earplugs to kill a siren family. I killed the first couple with no real issue, it's just that when I got to the second mermaid rock, I realized I wouldn't be able to get away with killing them that easily. This rock had 2 rare sirens. In RLCraft, mobs have a very small chance to become rare, to which they have some crazy abilities like lightning strikes and like lifesteal and things like that. And I guess I wasn't really ready for that yet. I did eventually kill them, and I got a lot of shiny scales, which I'll need later for some overpowered armor. I was getting prepared to kill a sea serpent, but I forgot one vital weapon. The summoning staff. The staff allows you to like create little creatures that you've seen before. I had everything to make one prepared, by the way. I just forgot to make it. After a long search, I finally found myself a sea serpent, which I then killed with passion. I'm joking, it fucking one-shot me, what the fuck did you expect? I went back to get my items, I died again, and it's on repeat. Eventually, on day 16, I killed him. Now looking at how hard this fight was, you would think it would be profitable. Well, you'd be very wrong because I'd only gotten a singular scale. One fucking scale! I lost so much items and energy over these 2 days, and I got 1 scale? Now on my way home I got sniped by some sirens, so even my pathetic 1 scale was now gone. I made myself a longbow, which really helped me whilst hunting jousts for some more avian treats because I still wanted that flying bird. I made myself a resistance ring, which is the strongest thing ever. You see, potion rings give you a certain potion effect constantly as long as you have them on. Resistance ring is probably the most expensive of them all, and it gives you permanent resistance 1. You can get 2 of these. That is permanent resistance 2. Later that day, I finally tamed myself a rock. It took so long, but I got it. Rocks are really just a basic starter flying mount for RLCraft. They're super useful, and I'm so happy I finally got one. You know how easy it is gonna be to cheese battle towers now? I used my rock to easily cheese these battle towers. And I used the materials to make a second resistance ring, giving me permanent resistance 2. I beat another tower, and using the materials I got myself a sweet, sweet soul stone, so that my buddy can always stay with me. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to take down another serpent. You gotta understand, I haven't gotten all that much stronger in that time. But But y'all need to know that when I'm recording these videos, I'm listening to music on max volume, I'm watching my TikToks, you know. I'm not paying full attention to what I'm doing in the game. So I make weird little decisions like this sometimes. This time I was smart enough to bring my summoning staff, and I put my spawn point immediately. So I just spawned a bunch of things with my summoning staff, and I kamikazed a couple times into that motherfucker. And yeah, this time I actually did get a good amount of skills. 14. That's better, okay? That's better. That's an improvement. I made myself some Tide Guardian armor. This is the armor I was talking about. Tide Guardian armor is a set made of shiny scales from mermaids and serpent scales. Now, it is already really strong on land, but it is so much better in water. You get strength, you get like this super fast depth strider effect. It is amazing. Not that I can use the armor yet, but once I can, I'll be happy I made it. But later in the day, I decided to start working on a bit of a storage area for, you know, storage purposes. On day 28, I made myself some diamond armor. Yep, we're going downhill. I also made myself a real foraging station so that I can change the quality of items. Now then, I crafted one of my favorite items in the game, which is the Stone of the Sea. It gives me insane speed when I'm in water, and even more important, whenever I drink, I don't get that thirst effect anymore. It's awesome. I started making an XP farm for myself. This should give me a lot of XP very fast. So this works because these creatures keep spawning whenever someone tries to make stone with water and lava. However, we're not making stone. The lava is being removed fast enough so that the water never turns into stone, yet we still get the creature spawning. It's pretty strong. On day 23, there was a blight in my XP farm. Blights are similar to rare mobs. They're just really fast, really strong, but they give a lot of XP. So yeah, that gave me a crap ton of levels. I later also died due to lava. I just made a couple mistakes with building my farm, okay? But it actually barely destroyed anything. When I removed the lava, most things were still on the ground, which is a pretty good plus. So from day 33 to 35, I was just doing small tasks, getting some XP, you know, doing everything. Until I wanted to explore a little. I took down a battle tower, which made me a little bit disoriented. You see where I'm going with this? So I got lost. All I had to do was find a recall potion to go home. But then I decided it was a good idea to sleep in a village I found. Okay, it's somewhat smart because night is very dangerous, right? But come on, Chris. Come on. So now it's day 36 and I cannot find my home. And I searched for what felt like hours. Apparently it's only 20 minutes of footage, which baffles me, but I searched for hours, okay? Till I finally found my home on day 37. And when I got home, well, I guess my old bird was really mad at me for replacing him. So he absolutely just chewed me up. So I think I spent like 2 more days trying to find my home, and all my loot was still there, of course, because the chunk wasn't loaded in. I went via a hole at the top, and well, that was a bit of an inconvenience. I had to go to dinner, so I left, and like an hour later I came back, and I guess the spawn protection came in clutch or something, because the creeper exploded, but I did not die. I sort of repaired my beautiful shack, and I just kind of checked what I was missing and what I still had and all that sort of stuff. Day 41, I just got back from XP grinding, and yup, an event called Boulder Dash started. These events also happen randomly, and they usually just spawn a bunch of a certain type of mob. In this case, it spawned a bunch of these rock monsters, and it made me lose a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm in my flop era. I went exploring and got a couple close encounters with dragons, but overall, things weren't that bad. I found an atlas, which meant that I would never get lost again. It's just a portable minimap. On day 48, I started enchanting my gear. My pickaxe got Fortune 3 and Versatility, which allows me to mine everything a little bit faster instead of just stone. My bow got Power 3 in range, my pants got Prod 4 and Advanced Thorns 2, which speaks for itself. My shield just had all the goods, and my sword just kept getting trash. On day 53, I got Education 2, which increases the amount of EXP that you get from killing mobs. So that's cool, I guess. Day 54 till day 56, I finally made a good sword. On day 57, I started hunting more serpents so I could finish up my armor. And then I got some new shaders. Okay, I didn't realize that my other ones made the enchantment effect look really shitty until I had my shield enchanted, okay? So, sorry for that. I found these murder chickens which gave me wither bones. Yes! I could finally make my dragon bone sword. Well, that was originally the plan, but I figured out that I didn't even need wither bones to begin with, so. I made this OP sword, which I could instantly show off during the very first blood moon.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
That's all, folks.
Kind of weird how we're only getting a blood moon now, but I'm fine with it, I guess. I went back home for my trip, and I made armor stands for all my armor. That's all I did. I enchanted some more, and I wore my dragon drip. As I was starting my new trip, another blood moon started. Why am I only getting these now? I don't know, but I hate it. I tried fighting this dragon, and I miraculously didn't die of fall damage. I tamed another Venturaptor, which is the name of that old bird I had, but I didn't really use them for a while. I just gave them a soul stone and I recalled back home. During day 37, it was really dark, but eventually it cleared up. I don't know why I felt like mentioning it, it was foggy and stuff, it's weird. I was feeling a bit risky, so I went on a test ride with my Venturaptor. I was gonna fight this dragon, but it broke my armor, so I ran away. I had to switch to my dragon armor and diamond pants because, you know, my armor's gone. And I made some extra hearts too. I haven't talked much about these yet, but you can find these heart containers all around and you can craft them with heart shards and they just give you extra health. I finally killed a dragon! Now, okay, you might say, Chris, you have dragon armor. You've killed dragons before, and yes, that is true. But I have never killed a dragon outside of water. I've always had my Tide Guardian on, with my overpowered weaponry, fighting them in water. I don't know why they keep landing in water, that's kind of weird because they're at a big disadvantage, but they can't do shit to me in water. This time, I actually killed one on land. I then took its blood so I can make a flaming dragon bone sword. On day 80, I sadly had to strip my sword of its enchantments, but now that I don't have any enchantments anymore, I turned it into a flamed dragon bone saber. And I also made a flamed dragon bone strengthened longbow. That is the actual name. The day has finally arrived. I grabbed all my gear, and I started looking for the Stronghold. On day 82, I found the Stronghold. I opened up the portal, and I jumped in. Yeah, so I guess bird.exe just stopped working because my rock was not listening to me, okay? That dumb bird decided not to follow me, and therefore I died, okay? I blame it on the bird. No worries, I got my stuff back, and this time, it was on. And as we reached day 86, damn, that took a while, I beat the game. The sheer relief I felt when the credits started rolling is just unimaginable. I still have no clue what they mean, but that didn't matter to me. What mattered is that it was over. My hard work paid off. I died multiple times here, and on the way here, but I beat the Ender Dragon in Minecraft's hardest mod pack. That really isn't a feat, honestly. I mean, I wasn't even playing on hardcore or anything. I died hundreds of times, but it doesn't matter. On day 87, I went home, and I spent some time at the house. I relaxed. I had that tough fight behind me. I deserve the rest. Now, I know that you guys have already insulted me in the comments about my house, okay? Come on, it's beautiful. I mean, okay. So on day 88, I broke it down. Rip house. 2021 to 2021. I spent my next days renovating the area and making myself a beautiful home. On day 92, I finished my in-home mob farm. This one was a little bit more user-friendly than my previous one, yet it followed a very similar design. On day 94, I finally got my first spruce trees. I used the wood I gained from the trees in order to make my roof. It took a long time to figure out how to properly craft it, but at the end of the day, I think it worked out. On day 95, I encountered the fight of the century. Oh man, this is fucking rigged. On day 96, I was chopping what I thought was spruce, but it turns out it was this ugly fir wood. I spent the rest of the day working on the house and exploring until at night I found a Morok. I was prepared to find one and I was quite happy to be able to tame one. Moroks are a mix between my other two mounts, so it's just a really fast rock. Day 97! I spent the entire day working on my house, like I've been doing for the past 10 days. On day 99, I tried my best to finish my home before day 100. And well, about day 100? On day 100, I woke up, I stashed away all my items, and I went on one final ride on my rock. As the heat was slowly killing me, I flew over the desert that brought me to my grave many times before. I remembered all the painful moments that made me want to quit. I remembered the pain of all the times I died, the pain of the script making of this video. I remembered the pain of having to go to the store for the sheer purpose of buying popcorn. I remembered it all. And then, as I was getting ready to watch the sunset one final time. What the fuck?